Satisfying global demand for gold requires relentless, non-stop industrial earth-moving. No country moves more of that earth than China. In 2013, China produced over 400 tons, capturing 16% of the global market. Extracting this metal requires a staggering, hidden supply chain of chemical reagents designed to separate gold from rock. The modern gold rush depends entirely on this highly complex chemical network. To maintain constant production, the industry consumes over 1 million tons of these extraction chemicals annually, driving a market worth up to 30 billion RMB. The dominant chemical fueling this massive operation is cyanide, a highly toxic, hazardous material. Because of its lethality, legally transporting cyanide creates extreme logistical friction. Mining companies face endless paperwork and strict supervision just to get it on site. Once arrived, financial overhead compounds through expensive hazmat storage and massive liability management. Any misstep risks devastating consequences. A single spill can lead to severe environmental pollution and malignant poisoning for nearby villages and waterways. Cyanide acts as a severe industrial bottleneck. Its toxicity enforces a high-friction, highly expensive reality that slows down production and constantly endangers the public. For years, environmental agencies and gold mining companies have searched for a safer, non-toxic alternative. They face a rigid engineering paradox. Replacing a foundational chemical usually forces an operation to tear down and rebuild its massive infrastructure. Mining operations cannot afford to halt production and replace all their steel tanks and complex piping. A viable solution must update the chemistry while leaving the heavy machinery completely intact. After hundreds of rigorous tests, Guangxi Senhe developed the JIN CHAN metallic ore dressing agent. This alternative rests on 3 distinct pillars. First, it is an eco-friendly, low-toxicity product that completely neutralizes the severe environmental threats posed by cyanide. Second, it grants logistical freedom. Because it is a low-toxic substance, it bypasses hazardous material regulations and can be legally transported in a straight line as a common chemical. Eliminating those strict approval and supervision procedures drastically cuts down enterprise management and overhead costs. Third, it offers a seamless drop-in effect. It utilizes the exact same plant equipment as cyanide, but performance testing shows its final gold extraction rate is actually higher. JIN CHAN clears the environmental hazard while simultaneously unplugging the entire logistical bottleneck, smoothing out the extraction process from start to finish. Stepping away from national production totals and looking closely at ground-level operations reveals a stark reality. Large gold mines account for barely 2% of the market. A massive 88% of the industry consists of small-scale operations. These small enterprises are the ones disproportionately suffocated by the expensive supervision, transport delays, and hazmat management costs tied to cyanide. Adopting a low-friction, common chemical immediately lifts that pressure, securing wider profit margins and a vastly safer workplace for their employees. For the overwhelming majority of the market, swapping to a green chemical serves as a critical economic lifeline. With state policies and dedicated technology funds now targeting small to medium science enterprises, the rising demand for non-toxic reagents has created a massive, untapped market space. Senhe High Technology plans to capture this exact momentum, pushing to lead the global transition away from toxic processing. Erasing this single chemical bottleneck builds a safer public environment and a highly profitable reality for thousands of localized operators. Large-scale industrial modernization doesn't always require tearing down the factories. Sometimes progress is as simple as changing the chemistry.